Hi all, welcome back to my channel TechnoMonk. Have you ever submitted an HR request at work only to feel like it disappeared into a black hole? Or maybe you are the HR pro juggling dozens of cases, wondering how do I make sure the right person gets the right case passed? Well, what if I told you there is a way to make HR case management as smooth as ordering your favorite coffee? No mix up, no delay, just the perfect match every time. This is the third video in our HRSD series, okay? And today we are diving into the secret sauce behind ServiceNow HRSD assignment rule, matching rule, and escalation rule. If you want to transform your HR service delivery from chaos to clockwork, you are in the right place. So, as always, let's imagine you are Alex, an HR manager at a fast-growing company. Every day, your team is flooded with requests, some urgent, some routine, but all are important. But with so many cases, how do you make sure each one lands on the right desk, gets the right attention, and never falls through the cracks? That's where our three heroes come into existence. Assignment rules, matching rules, and escalation rules. Together, they are like the ultimate human traffic control system, directing, matching, and prioritizing each and every case so nothing gets lost and everything gets what they need. So today I will walk you through how this rule works, why they matter, and how you can set them up in ServiceNow HRSD to make your HR team unstoppable. Before that, as always, we'll change our score to human resource score. Okay? Let's start with the I will let's start with the briefing on the assignment group. So if I've already shown in the last tutorial, but I will just reiterate on the same. So if I go to manage HR group module, okay, so here we can see all the groups which are there with respect to HR. Okay. If I open any of this group, what exactly is there in that? So if we see this the HR tier 1 group, okay, and you can see what role this particular group is having, what all members this group is having. So it's having 6 members. If it has a subgroup or child groups, we can see it over here. And then we have skills. Skills are very important component, okay, when we are talking about HRSD. Now let's see how the skill works. So if we go, so this is the basic structure of our group, and you can see the parent group over here, right? So that's how the relationship happens between them. Now let's look into the skills. So for that, what I will do, it got freezed in for me. I don't know. So if we go back and if I go over here and if I search manage HR skills, so from here you can see the entire portfolio of the skills. So on the left hand side, you can see all the skills which are there in the HR. And on the right hand side, you can see all the users. So currently there are 23 users which are having some HR roles. Okay. Now we have an option, okay, to add or remove the users to certain role skill. For instance, if we look into the exit interview skill, okay, we have 3 users right now. If I want to add one more user to it, so you can simply click on assign and remove user, and whatever you can see in the highlighted one, these people are already part of that. So I will add Rihanna as a part of it, and I can add Rihanna to this. So now you can see the exit interview skill has now 4 members. So this way you can add 2 members if you want. If you want to, and if you see over here, you can also see what all skills that particular member is having, and you can add the skills from here also to the user. Perfect. You can also create new skills. So I've already changed the scope, right? Yeah. If I go, well, let's see. Okay, this is in the global app. Add. I go back to skill management, and if I want to create a new skill, I can create new skill also. So, for example, I want to create a skill for um interview. Okay, I can give this skill help Cha to deal with interview. Okay, and I have created. If I submit, a new skill will get created. But it's showing in red because this particular skill has no one assigned to this particular skill. Okay, and it was vice versa. So if you see over here, this person has no skills. That's why it's showing in red. So let's do it. Do one thing. I will add it as interview over here, and let's see if both the things get sufficed. So it got turned black. At the same time, this is also black now. Okay? So this is how the skill works. You can add few users to the skill, and you can remove the users to the skill. There's one more interesting thing. So if you go when we enable the HR plugin, right? If we go to normal user table, now you will be able to see one related list per skill, and you can see all the skills over. So this is all about this. Now let's start with the storyline. Okay, what we have to do. We'll be looking into the assignment tool. Let's start with Alex's biggest headache. Okay, assigning cases. Picture this: an employee submits a request for benefit update. But instead of going straight to the benefit specialist, it lands into a general queue, waiting and waiting. Frustrating, right? That's where assignment rule comes in. Think of them as a backstage crew, making sure every case handled to the right experts right away. So, how we can deal with that? So, if we go to the navigation panel and you search for HR assignment rule, so you can see this module over here, HR assignment rule. If I click on it, you can see what all things are present over here. Okay. So if I open this or any of this, but for example, HR payroll piece, and if I click here, okay, so this is how the definition of the assignment rule happens. So what it has first is name, the execution order, because it follows the execution order. The lower the execution order, it will get execute first, higher will last. Okay, and applies to. So you can select over here the table on which you want to apply. So we have already seen the COE, and in COE we have seen there are different tables. So based on the case type, we can define the assignment rules. So here, on one particular table, there can be multiple assignment rules also based on the condition. So here, the condition is simple that the table is payroll, okay? And whenever the assignment group is empty, what it's doing, it's assigning it to HR table. Pretty simple, right? If you want to have some complex logic which is not able to suffice into the condition, you can always write a script. We have a script option over here also. So if we look into that, if it's a payroll kind of request, HR case, it should go to the HR typer. Let's verify it. So what I'll do, I will just create a new case. So I will go create a case, create new case, and we will select any user. So let's select people only. Maybe able tutor. And here in the HR service, let's select payroll. If I select anything on the payroll side of it, employee payroll setup, and if we create case out of it, now it should go to HR tier 1 support. Okay. So it got assigned to HR tier, right? So this is how other things happen. This is how it works. So this is all about the HR assignment rule. What HR assignment rule does, based on certain criteria, you can assign the case to certain group. Perfect. Now you're assigned it to group. Okay, so if I go to all cases, all HR cases, now if I find something which is already in ready state, so ready state, and also we want tier 1 group. So for example, this particular one. If I open, HR service is empty. Yes. If I open this out, now this is the first step we have to do. The next thing, what we'll be looking into, the HR matching rule. So now Alex team is getting cases faster than ever. Okay? But here's the twist. Not all cases are created equally. Some may need a specialist with a certain skill or someone in a specific location. How does Alex make sure the best person gets the case? That's where the matching rule came into existence. So, how we can navigate to matching rule? For that, what do you have to do? Just search for matching rule, the matching rule, and here you can see all the matching rules of it. The same um, concept applies to the execution order. And if you open the payroll one, this particular one, now how is it work? So it applies to by which uh, sorry. So yeah, if you see this particular matching rule, it has name, execution order, active, and applies to. Applies to will be the same table, the payroll one, payroll case. And if assignment 2 is empty, previously it was assignment group is empty. Now, if assignment group is not empty and assigned to is empty, then this particular matching rule will work. And what it will do, it will call a script include, okay, HR assignment API, get agent by country skills order list loaded. Okay, so basically it's a out of the box script include. Okay, we can modify it out also. But what exactly it's doing? If you go into the code of this script include, you will be seeing it goes to that particular group. Okay, checks what skills are required in order to resolve that particular case, because we have seen uh, cases have the skills also attached to it. Okay, and based on the skill, it will it will assign that particular case to a user. So for instance, if I go and if I do again create new case, and if I type able, I am able tutor, I will select again the skill as payroll, and I will go with payload discrepancy. And if I create a case now, it went to HR group 1. And we can see the ready for work button also is. Now, in order to work on this particular case, it requires a skill payroll. Okay. And if we go to this group, let's see. So it has 6 members. Okay. And if I open one by one or all 6 of them, and if we see the skills, what exactly the skills they are having. So I've opened, and if I see we need a payroll skill. Okay. So this particular Terence don't have the payroll skill. Perfect. Uh Stefan don't have the payroll skill. No payroll skill. Payroll skill. So Warren has a payroll skill. And what is the name? Emmy has a payroll skill. But we know that in order to resolve this particular case, we need the payroll skill, right? So it should ideally go to Warren and Tap. And it works on a round robin algorithm also, that whoever will be is having the load is lesser for a person, it will go to that person. Okay. So for example, if Temia is having 10 case to work on and Warren has only 2, so it will go to Warren. So that's how it works at the back. And then you can see the logic for the same in the scripting tool. So ideally, if I go for ready for work, okay, it should go to Warren or Tem. So let's see in action this particular thing. If I close other tabs, okay, I will just make it full screen and I will just go for ready for work. And as you can see, it went to Warren. So the assignment, the matching group, what it does, based on the assignment group and the skill, it may be anything, skill and country also it may be, it will assign the case to a person who is having lesser load, okay, but having the required skill. Perfect. So this is all about the HM patching rule. Now the next thing, what I want to look into is the escalation rule. So it's pretty straightforward, right? What exactly the escalation rule is. What happens when a case sits too long unanswered, right? So Alex knows that delay can lead to unhappy employees, okay, and miss deadlines. That's where a third hero step in, escalation rule, the safety net that ensure no case is ever forgotten. So how we can navigate to escalation rule? Uh, I will just take a note of this particular. We will look into this. So if I go over here and if I will search for escal- escalation rules, okay, these are the escalation rules. So it's pretty straightforward. If I open this out, it's pretty straightforward. I opened the book by mistake. So it states escalate from escalate to. That's it. So if the case is assigned to HR tier 1, if it get escalated, it will go to HR tier 2. From HR tier 2, it will go to HR tier 3. Okay. There's nothing on top of it. So let's see this thing in action. I will go history. I will go to the same payroll case. And now, how can we escalate this case? So for instance, this particular group is not responding. The warrant is not at all, is serving notice period. We don't want to entertain you. So how we can do that? So if you scroll down, we'll see the escalate case button over here or the little link. So if we click on this is not working in this case. Okay. You can simply provide the workload. If you do okay, ideally it should, as per the configuration, it should go to tier 2. That we'll wait for it to happen. Click on it, right? It's happening. Okay, perfect. So we have escalated out, and now we can see the HR tier 2 kicks in. And the same logic applies over here. Ross, Russell Kiger will have the payroll skill. Okay. That's why it went to him. So if we check, and if I open this record, is he has the payroll skill. Perfect. The same logic applies over here. Let's go back to the case. Let's escalate one more time. So you are in really bad luck kind of situation. No one wants to work on your case. So we'll escalate it one time. I click on escalate case button or the link. Try it. This group is the notebook. We need a fast response. So if I do okay, should get escalated to HR tier 3 now. Let's see. It got escalated to HR tier 3 and this particular replica will have the required rule payroll rule. But if I scroll down now I'm not able to see this escalate button, escalate rate, right? Why? Because when we have seen the escalation flow, there is nothing on top of HRTL. So it can't go beyond this particular, right? So that's why we are not able to see anything. You can see HR tier 2, HR tier 3, we have already reached this state. There's nothing on top of it. We create new thing, then it will go over there. So that's all. With assignment, matching, and escalation rule working together, Alex HR team is now well-oiled machine. But remember, these rules aren't just for big companies. They can help any HR team deliver faster, smarter, and more professionalized service. So whether you are an HR leader like Alex or just starting your ServiceNow journey, mastering these rules can transform your HR service delivery. No more lost cases, no more frustrated employees, just seamless, efficient HR support. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more ServiceNow tips, and drop your question or experience in the comment below. Your support helps us create more valuable content for you and the entire ServiceNow community. Thanks for watching, and remember, when it comes to HR, the right tool makes all the difference. See you in the next video.